Alright, I am making a video for DVDs that I've found. It's probably been about 2 weeks, and I found some pretty good ones. There's like 3 or 4 that I'm really happy to have found, and I always get them at this one pawn shop that literally gives them to me now for $4 so they're literally 25 cents. Sometimes I've got them for even cheaper than that, depending on if like I walk up with 5. Sometimes I'll just give it. They'll just say just do it. $1's fine. So it's been good. I stop there probably like twice a week, and sometimes I find some. Sometimes I won't find anything. But these are some movies I got. So here we go. I got Bad Boys 2. I can remember when this came out. I don't remember quite as much about Bad Boys 1 as I did Bad Boys 2. I think that they both were pretty good movies, but it's just another Will Smith series that people tend to forget about. Rush Hour 3 I picked up, again, for $0.25. The cool thing about this pawn shop is it tends to be movies that I am kind of looking for. I'm looking for like movies that are like stereotypical like man movies, like guy movies, and this pawn shop is traditionally centered towards like just male customers. It really is. It's interesting how the stuff that's brought in and the stuff that would be interesting to buy is geared around that. So I often we'll find war movies too, and I don't mind the remade version. I mean, I've never seen the older one all the way through. I know that like, because you can see down at the bottom, it won 2 Academy Awards, but I can remember trying to watch this and it was pretty tough to watch just because of how old it is. I'm pretty sure this came out in either the 20s or the 30s. It's pretty old, but I can't remember. It doesn't show the year on the back, but anyway, another older movie that this one nobody ever opened. Somebody got it at Walmart and never bought it. Thought they would, and then just took it to the pawn shop, and I got it for $0.25. The Wizard of Oz, and I'll probably watch it at least once. I've been getting in the habit of watching probably like maybe 3 or 4 movies a week, and I just have them on in the background. Perfect Storm, another actor that I've been looking out for is Wahlberg. Clooney's not bad, but like one that I'm really looking out for that I'm hoping that I find. Well, actually, the irony of it is they both are in that is The Three Kings, movie about like, I think it's I guess the Persian Gulf, the first in the 90s in Iraq. This is a movie I picked up that I know it was a Christian Bale movie that he made either after the Batman movies or in between the second and third Batman movie. But he plays like a missionary, I guess. Like, I think this is supposed to take place during World War II. So I was interested in it. I'll watch it hopefully one time. It's worth it for $0.25. I found this at the pawn shop too, 25 cents, and I've heard lots of people talk positively about this, but I never got a chance to watching it. I remember watching the Tuskegee Airmen back in the 90s, but did not get a chance to watch this. I know that this is not that old, probably within the last at least 10 years. Pretty happy to see this. All 4 of these Batman movies for 25 cents is pretty awesome. I recently had accumulated this movie and this, I think these 2 separately, so I'll probably try to get rid of those 2. Some of what I have been doing is I've been just giving movies to my dad. I mean, I don't really know if he really even cares to watch any older movies, but I'll probably give him these two and then just keep this one copy, which is kind of condense them if I can get versions like that. These last four I was pretty happy with, just fine, especially for a quarter. I was looking out for this one, Law Abiding Citizen. I remember watching this at least 7-8 years ago and thought it was really good. It's one of those just Gerard Butler movies that he came about at a time when we were like kind of in need of some like good action heroes, and he's done a pretty good job over, I would say, maybe, I can't think of all the examples, but probably a good 5 or 6 movies he's done that he's been kind of a decent action actor. That's kind of filled the void that we haven't had too many of them in the last like 10 years. We haven't had classics like this guy. So I was really happy to see this. True Lies was always a really good movie. That this was like one of the last like really good Arnold movies that he made. That was like him kind of like at the tail end of his prime. I know that he made some more like later in the 90s and like at the very beginning of the 2000s, but this I always thought was really cool, a really good movie. And what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis in that one. There's one scene in that movie that you know what I'm talking about if you ever saw that. The movie called The Thing. This was awesome to find, especially for a quarter. This was one that I've always really talked positively about this movie. It's in pretty good shape too. Almost like somebody, you know, probably kept it for like a good 10-15 years and then didn't really do much with it and then just tried to get rid of it. But oftentimes when I'm talking to people about horror movies, they are thinking of slashers, like just movies that I don't really find to be scary. And like movies like The Thing and Jaws and movies that like you don't know what's out there are the types of movies that I feel are good horror. Like the movie Jaws is like created a generation of people that were concerned about getting in the ocean. So I mean, the Thing and Jaws are really top on my list as far as being good horror movies. And then this one, another one again that's sealed. I was looking for I keep an Amazon list of stuff like to kind of keep my eye out for, and this has been on my Amazon list for like 3 years, and so it was awesome to find this. I remember watching this in the early 90s, and I just can think back to how cool this scene with Medusa and I think it's Perseus. It's either Perseus or Theseus is hunting down the Medusa, and it's such a cool scene. Even though it's kind of cheesy in today's world, it's still something that brings a lot of nostalgia to me. The only other movie that I would be interested in trying to find that kind of fits into this realm of these styles of old Greek movies would be Jason and the Argonauts. It's an older movie that I can remember and liking a lot. But anyway, these are the movies I got. I probably didn't even, I think I spent $3. If there's 12 movies there, I spent $3 for all those. So it's a good investment. I mean, even if I was buying games at a Goodwill, it would cost like one game for $3. So it's a new hobby that is not that expensive, so I find it to be fun. So, and again, if I end up running out of space, which I don't think I am because my garage is pretty big, I would probably end up getting rid of the cases and then just keep the discs. But anyway, let me know what you think. If there's any movies in there that you know much about, feel free to leave a comment. I will see you later.